accused of something you've never done. You've had to fight for something. Yeah. No, you don't hear it because this is what I'm trying to say to you. Women make accusations every single day, yeah? Report it. If you don't report it, I don't want to see you on a platform talking about SA. I spoke about it before because when I asked you what happened, did you report it? No. Well then, so you can't come on a platform and start trying to demonize a man. You can't do that. Social media, if you want justice, you don't come to podcasts. If you want justice, you go to the police. And if you don't go to the police, even file a report, you come to the Shade Borough comments, you want sympathy, you want followers. You do not want justice. You do not want another girl to get justice. I care about the other girls. I care about my sister. If you don't report it, you know what that means? You leave these men out on the road. This is why I take it very personally, bro. Trust me. Yeah. If I go to court for something, if I get found guilty, like Tory Lanez, yeah? So a lot of people are saying, oh, he's not guilty. He's guilty because he got found guilty for it. It doesn't matter what we believe. It doesn't matter what we think. It doesn't matter what we know. The only thing is he got found guilty. He has to catch that L. We know, right? But he got found guilty. Take the L, yeah? Done. Any man that's trying to say, I'm like, bro, he got found guilty. What are we talking about? Because if he didn't get found guilty, yeah, I wouldn't have no girl saying that Tory's guilty. I'd be like, bro, you bust case. So we have to, I understand what you're saying about there's grey areas and I understand that some men get off with stuff, but if we start saying there's lots of men that have been done this, I can start reeling off names, bro, of, especially when it comes to black men, we have been lynched publicly for years, bro. See, there's the one that happened in America. You see that you watch that Netflix documentary. I hear you, bro. You know what it is? I hear exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you're gonna argue.
My view isn't about the court of law. I don't really believe in Western justice anyway.
I know, neither do I. But I'm saying
it's just like it's not fair in its own right, particularly to black men. Don't get me wrong. A black man was found innocent. Like that's in a good sense. But what I'm saying is the reality of the women is, if let's say, how many of them was there? 7?
Yeah.
Let's say
there's 8, but he's been cleared of 6. But there's 2 retrials apparently. Right, cool. So from what I've seen online, but again, I can only speculate on that.
Let's say 5 of them were chatting was, right? Because 5 were chatting was, the 2 who could have been potentially, let's say they were
allegedly. Okay.
Let's say they were. Let's just say
allegedly.
Yeah. Because he was cleared of 5, 2 ain't gonna get justice.
But how do you know they don't all lie?
We don't know.
It's true. We don't.
They're all telling the truth.
I know, but once again, so we let it play out.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that either way, justice should prevail. And it doesn't.
I think
because of like the majority versus minority. If 5 were chatting shit and he got found innocent of 5,
they just
and
found
2 were he did it.
Yeah. Then he's guilty.
But because the majority of the evidence, they could use that and say, look, they were saying the same thing as them. Yeah. He didn't do it in here. Yeah. So how can you say he did it there?
Well, then you need to speak to the 5 women that are lying, that are messing up for the 2 women.
Yeah, that's it.
Agreed. I'm with you on that one there.
You don't speak to the innocent man and say, listen, at the end of the day is, like, here's the thing, right? I believe if you've done something, you should go to jail for it. But I also know there's a lot of women that lie on men, yeah? I've witnessed it. I've seen it happen. I have friends that, so it doesn't equal out. Even when it comes down to paternity, you do realize if a woman says it's your baby and you bring up that baby and you pay for it, there's no law whatsoever that says that she has to go to jail or you have to pay money for that, bro. Like, there's a lot of, and so my thing is this. I'm saying when it comes down to SA and stuff, report it. At least report it. If you want to come on a platform and tell me, I was on Pearl Show, a girl came and told me 89% of men commit SA, I went nuts. What do you mean 89% of men? 89%. Do you know what that is? That means when you're walking like down the road.
Whole population.
I started doing it. So, and then
is that all good to go?
Yeah. And it's just like, when it comes down to this, I got 3 sisters, bro. And I'm very protective of my sisters.
Yeah.
And I look from it from a protector aspect, right? So if someone does something to you,
let me just shout out. We're back, another episode, Waffletop podcast. Paolo, Donny, got a special guest. We always let the guests introduce themselves. Shout yourself.
Yeah, my name is Chyna, TheMandemsVoice. You probably see me firing up the internet right now, so it's good to be come down with the boys, the waffles, you know what I mean? So make sure you
listen. He's been on a few platforms, and there was a couple of videos I saw that made me reach out to you, but we'll get to that soon anyway.
Yeah, cool.
But bruv, you're flying, man. You're doing a lot of, in the most respectful way I say this, a lot of talking at the moment online.
No, because
that can come across as rude, isn't it?
No, it can, and obviously we just met. So yeah, no, like Like, it's a weird one. Even when people say it, like, it's because I'm still trying to get used to it because it's new. So when people like, I've seen you over there, I keep forgetting, like, the internet, it's like more than TV now.
Trust me.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's better than TV.
Because people that I know that watch TV have seen my content.
Yeah.
Like, even
YouTube's a new thing.
Yeah, it
Because for
definitely
me, like, have you never turned on a TV and you're like, rah, there's like fuck all to watch. We can swear as well. There's fuck all to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about you, Donnie, yeah, but for me, it's like, go on YouTube and you've got like an unlimited real thing. I learned to edit videos. All the editing we do, I learned off watching YouTube videos. I didn't do a course in it. I'm not graduated in anything, but I learned it online. My thing is, now YouTube's a new thing. So yeah, that's why you, anyone else get noticed online now, because I feel like it's the cheapest subscription to television people can get. Like, you don't even have to pay money for it.
No, it's true.
And there's endless content. Yeah, you can't watch films, but man, I can watch series,
There's
documentaries.
stuff on YouTube.
But
now,
for
man.
me,
YouTube's
and that's
a
where
new
we
one,
saw
bro.
you, innit? It's like, I don't know about you, Donnie. You already said you watched a couple of his
I
films.
watched, I
innit?
watched a couple of things of your thing already. Like, you're wild, bro. You're wild. No, but I feel like you speak sense in it, and then obviously you got people in the comments like, we'll get to that, but people comment say, oh, you shouldn't say it. You should. Bro, it's not about that.
Do you know
bro.
what my thing is
If
with
you
that?
hold
as
back
well?
your tongue, you'll never get heard, bro. You got to speak your mind.
Do you know
That's
what
how
my
I look at
thing
it.
is with that as well? Yeah, and I agree with you. See, the thing is, the issue that you may have or you may not, whether you care or not, is down to you, innit?
Yeah.
But the issue I think that you'll have, and I have in some instances because of the way I'm quite outspoken as well.
Oh yeah, I've already had this.
Yeah. So for me, it's like there will be people online, and we'll get to this as well in more brief content. But I call them social media justice warriors. Yeah. So like we go onto the subjects of guilty until proven guilty.
Yeah.
In the sense of everything online. So say for example you're seen to have done something stupid on a video that gets put onto a Shade Bra or these platforms, but there's no context to it.
Yeah.
So you just see the video and you think, right, he's mad. But then no one sees the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or he or she is mad. But it's like, my biggest problem in 2022 was the whole thing of like social media justice warriors, right? Because I feel like online now, social media has become a lot like, like this, we was talking before it started, the Salem witch trials, bro.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're condemned before you're found to be guilty.
So basically, a lot of the times when people want somebody to be guilty, it's an emotional response, right? And a lot of the times when we was talking about what we was talking about, they will say he's guilty. But you have to understand, like, the reason we have courts and stuff, and partly is saying a witch trials, like, women, you literally used to get told you was a witch, and we're gonna dip you in the water, and if you float, then you're a witch. If you drown, then you're not. But if you drown, that means you die, but it doesn't matter because you go to heaven. That's how people used to get tried, And it's like, it's not perfect. Court is not perfect. A lot of men I know to go to court and it doesn't go their way, Innocent man doesn't go their way, right, A lot of guilty man, it can go their way, right? But the idea is, this is the only thing that we have, right?
Court.
It's the only thing it's the law, right? And unless you're about to start going and getting jungle justice, and I'll be honest, I'm not advocate for it, but if you feel as if that the only way you're gonna get whatever, you have to do something, then that's up to you. You have to take whatever comes with that, with your choice of decision.
100%.
But if that's what you feel you have to go and do, then do it. But most normal people need to report stuff and go through the channels of it, in order for it to get done. And what I'm trying to say is what I said before. It's not perfect. It's not perfect, I know. But if you come to social media versus going to the proper channels, then it can become quite questionable, your motives.
It's mad. Like the social media thing. It's like, why would you go and? I mean, I know you want to be heard. Yeah. So everyone go on social media to be heard. Yeah. But it's like, why go on social media to air your dirty laundry, and not go to the police or go to whatever to talk about, I got raped or I got stabbed or something.
Who's the prime example of doing it now? We see online, and I would say not somebody we can maybe relate to, but somebody that all of us see online is that Blueface thing. The American.
Mate,
no, but I'm saying that is a pure prime example of girl's teeth's missing. She's bottling him. Like,
Yeah,
it's wild.
They love that.
Online.
But they
It's
both
all
need,
online.
yeah, they both need Jesus, bro. They love that. They love
Then
that.
guess what? They got given a TV show instead.
Yeah.
Make it make sense, bro.
Bro, it's true. You could be out here. We're out here talking. So what I'm saying. So what we're saying is we've got to bottle each other to get a TV show.
Literally,
It's
bro.
dumb, innit?
Literally,
It's
but
dumb.
it's mad, bro. No, it's true. What he's saying though with that. That's mental, bro.
But that's my problem with it. Yeah, is you probably have this. Yeah, being someone that's older as well and talking about. I would say from what I've watched of your stuff, more grown shit, which is what we talk about.
Yeah, correct.
I'm not talking about stuff that that appeals to 16, 17, 18-year-olds. I'm way too old for that shit. But I'm saying to you, like, I feel like people would rather see that content than stuff that could probably change the narrative of how the way they think. And you bring up some good points. Obviously, you've been on Auntie Jenny's podcast, who. Pearl. Yeah.
King Riches.
You speak your mind, good man.
But it's good though. But that's what I feel like. I feel like going back to it, the problem that you always get where you speak your mind is there's always like a fractional majority of people that don't agree. But these people think that they're 100% right, and like if you don't, because they've said, "Oh no, you're out of tone for saying that." For these reasons, so you must agree with me, and if you don't, you're going to be cancelled. Yeah. You know how dumb it is. It's like
I've seen a lot of people like, oh, how come? I'm sure the Andrew Tate comparisons, and the first thing when they do that is there's a few things I'll say. I'll be like, so when you make, first of all, what they're trying to do is they're trying to. So anything that you've seen, everything to do with Andrew Tate. So when they do that, they're trying to basically tarnish you or basically label you something. So anything that any negative images you have of him, they automatically, by calling you something like that, they're trying to attach that to you. So that's the first thing what they're gonna try to do, yeah. And the second thing, so I've never watched Andrew Tate stuff. It's mad because because like. This is mad because people call me Red Pill, but I didn't know what Red Pill was till I got on platform and people started telling me, I'm like, no, I'm not, because I prescribe to marriage and the nuclear family. There's lots of stuff that, so I prescribe to a traditional African upbringing. That's how I was raised.
Okay.
So this whole manosphere thing, I've only discovered it as I'm in it.
Yeah.
So it's very organic. So when people say stuff like that, I'm like, no, I didn't know. In actual fact, the only thing I knew about Tate was about his about finance, like he used to make money and talk about escaping the matrix and business. That's what I actually heard about. I didn't see none of the other stuff until afterwards, right? So it's essentially like, I just think that when you step out into and do what I've done, right, you have to be ready for backlash.
Trust me.
Yeah. And I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, but is it just because you say you're obviously jumping into this thing now, like you said before, your brethren was pushing you to do this. So you're kind of like, I get what you're saying, because like for the first time we ever got, I would say, a big feed of comments back on certain videos would be on YouTube, but TikTok as well, where the guy called Gwenton on. Yeah. And Gwenton is like a home advisor. He ran for mayor of Hackney. I think he just lost, but he was also like like an advisor to the Home Secretary. Like he's got mad jobs. He relocates people in domestic violence. Shout out to him. But we put a thing up about where money goes from like raids and stuff in London, so which he knows a lot about. So he explained it, and obviously you got people commenting, and certain times you'll get someone who would just comment saying like, you prick, or some shit, just random stuff. But where like I'm not used to it. I find myself arguing with some of these people, and I'm like, no, I need to stop.
That's not even the problem, Like I can take that. The problem was colleagues, because I was working in the film industry, and I just, to be fair, it was like, it's like, because I was working in the film industry, then I started getting trainers and AD. I was learning different parts, and in actual fact, it's mad that I got into podcasting because I was doing behind the scenes, and I'm into filmmaking, but like I want to make documentaries and serious films. So that's kind of still what I want to do. So it was mad because me getting into podcasting and basically producing show, and this, it's kind of like an extension of that industry and kind of going into it, right? Yeah. So there's lots of people. I don't want to talk about what production I was working on, but it was a massive multi-million-pound production. Lots of people, actors, everyone's my friends.
Tell us off camera.
Like I'll tell you about it off camera. Yeah, I was rolling with them, A-list, like literally, and it was mad because
How do you feel doing all that? Like, was it a blessing doing
It was
all
a
that
blessing. It was a blessing, but at the same time, everyone kept on telling me, like, you got personality, you got this, like, what else you want to... You know, like, they were telling me you're destined for something, innit?
Different,
like,
yeah.
And then it come to an end, and as it come to an end, like, I did a few commercial days helping out on set and doing a couple of other stuff, and you know what I mean? It was like, definitely, and then I started writing a play at the moment.
Sick.
And so creatively, it opened me up, and I was around different people. And not like there's a lot of things that I want to do, but I've discovered something that not all the time you can do things with your circle of friends, your day ones, because it's just creatively. Sometimes people want to do different things. You kind of have to find your tribe and find people you can do the types of stuff you want to do. And same thing with the podcasting world. It's kind of like I'm going around people that have a similar interest and can teach me, and I can do things with. So, and versus people where I'm probably from, someone, it's like I'm the only one that steps out to do this. So it was from that spurt that kind of led me on, and I was very behind the scenes. So when I had people that I'd built really good relationships with, and we would speak, and they would be like, "Oh my God, your views! I can't believe your views are so misogynistic." I was like, "What?" Misogyn. I couldn't, but then it was coming in droves, bab. And then I'll have girls that I knew grew up. I was like, whoa, what's going on? This is not what, I didn't understand it. And because it started off with good comments. Then they were like, oh, if you want people to support you, then if you want women to support you, then you go. And then that's when it started, man. I can't lie.
Yeah.
I felt really, bro.
Did you, seeing it in comments, how did you feel?
It felt, I can't lie, it cut me still.
Serious?
Because there were certain people in there that I rated, and they were like your views, like, why, like, you hate women and that. I was like, what? Are you like...
You're not saying that. You're not saying you hate women, are you? You're just trying to break it down.
I would say negatives, and the negatives of reels, because I think that's where it comes from.
Basically.
No, because you can... Like, we could say something today, and I could cut it to make it look like it's something shit I said, but without watching the context of, and we go back to it, is watching full context of videos, you don't... So, like, for example, when I seen you say about, like, the thing about coming for podcasters, I had to watch the whole clip first. From that clip, I took you were just going to turn up and punch man up. But then when... when I watched the whole thing, I was like, it makes sense. People saying this, that, you're just turning up and saying, like, Wagwan, what's going on? But, yeah, my point is the reels can really... It draws people in, but you have to take some, I suppose.
So that now I do that. Now I do that to draw you in. That's clickbait. Right? Now I don't mind it. Literally, I don't mind.
Because you know what it is.
Because I know what it is. But I'm telling you, my introduction to it, I was like, what? That's not what I was saying. Then I've looked back at some of the things that I've said, and it was the first time I was on Pearl's show, and essentially, shout out to Pearl. Just Pearly things, like, that's my people's them. Essentially, I learned a lot of my stuff on it because I've been on there so many times. I'm like,
the Pearly thing sounds wild, though, innit? Because like, I seen there's just bare people.
So basically, I've discovered. So it's like I never go on these platforms to battle. I go to have conversations. If you watch, I always go to have conversations. But I speak direct and I speak in a way. Then what a lot of times they'll start to use the sign language, and then they'll start to say stuff like, oh, your tone. They'll start to do tone police, and I'm never shouting or whatever. And they'll start to say you're triggered. Oh, who hurt you? Oh, trauma. They'll start to do all of these things, and essentially they just want to battle. And some women now see you on the platform and they come ready to battle. Like, they've seen you and they're like, yeah, I'm coming to fight. But they don't actually understand is all I'm ever trying to do is have a conversation. But a lot of times I don't get the conversation that I want to have. So what actually happens with is that it turns into this thing. And these are good for viral moments. It's good for the platforms. But essentially, that's not what I'm trying to do. But that's what ends up happening because that's what they're trying to do, you know?
I think, you've definitely... The problem is with that, when you go onto platforms and you sit there and you're in that environment where you just go to talk, you're obviously meeting people that you've never met. You don't know what their personalities are like. And the thing is,
it's wild.
It's wild. And we can tell you now, like, before, I remember watching, this was like a few years ago, and it wasn't our thing, but do you remember Alhan and Poet used to do the show where they used to sit down, Boiler Room, Gaswork, when they had, what's his name on? He was mental, bro.
Peckham guy.
No,
the guy just, you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, what's his name, man?
Huh?
What's his name?
The guy used to turn up, just wanted to fight everyone. He used to turn up to different ends, but he was weird.
I know his name.
He was tapped.
Oh, he's come back.
Has he come back?
He's on TikTok or something. Someone said, what's his name?
We're going to catch it. I'm lost.
You know what it is? People are watching it now, just laughing. They're saying it.
Yeah.
What's his name?
You have to Google that, bro.
Tell us in the.
I don't know his name, bro.
It's gonna just jump. It's gonna just jump.
It's gonna hit you when we're going home.
It's gonna hit you.
It's that man. Oh yeah.
Nah, we're gonna find out quick because it is very important to the conversation.
Really
Here we go, African Child.
African Child. That's it. AC. AC. He's wild.
He turned up and like. The poet's obviously been in this thing a long time. Yeah. So he's turned up and he's just not on any bullshit. So he's just gone, you know what? I'm going to take myself out of this situation. I'm going to move. And Alhan's got the personality. Yeah. Like I love Alhan. He's hilarious, but he's got a personality. He'll just wind man up. Yeah. So he's just wind. But my point is that you don't know who you're walking into a room with. Like, and the thing it's like with us, we've never, I'd say touch wood, we've never had a guest on that we've sat here and thought, oh, this is a mistake, or they've started kicking off. Yeah. Because we're quite chilled out as it is, but we're also not. I would say it's how you deal with a person, but sometimes you will disagree on stuff. Yeah. Like, but you've got to understand it's a conversation, and it's the same as you're not always you might not have the same points of view as me or him, or we might not have the same as you in some sense, but it doesn't mean that we got to start rowing, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Like if you look at the shows that I've done and look at all the pictures afterwards, I take pictures afterwards. I don't take pictures before the show. I even crack joke with people. I'm like, should we take pictures before the show? They're like, why? I'm like, because we might not be friends afterwards. And everyone's like, what? And I'm like, no, we'll take it afterwards. Because essentially what happens is it's like, we should be able to have a discourse, whatever. And at the end of it, we can have disagreement, but we don't have to be enemies at the end of it. We don't have to be whatever. And when you go on a lot of these shows, so I've never swore at a woman on a platform. I've never disrespected a woman. I never spoke bad about a woman's part. I've never done anything like that. In actual fact, if you look on the platforms, you see women screaming at me, swearing at me. Like like there was a clip of me telling a woman not to swear at me, and she was like, "Why?" I was like, "It's rude." And she was like, "Oh, that's what I just do." I'm like, "You don't. When you meet somebody for the first time, you don't swear." And she's like, "Oh, I'm not swearing at you. I said you're swearing in a conversation towards me." It's rude. Yeah. If I was doing that now, watch what they would do. If they just met me and I start effing them blind.
But essentially, she's swearing at you. Like as much as she wants to sugarcoat it, because if she's talking to you, but saying it in a way that, I don't know, you've said something to I don't know if it triggered her or whatever it was, but she's turned around and going, no, it's not fucking like that. That is swearing at you. I know,
but what she's going to say is, no, that's just how I speak. But I said to her, no, that's not like would you speak, if you was on the office place, would you just be swearing? You just met someone, you don't know them, it is rude. And if no one's ever taught you that, let me explain to you, when you meet someone that you've never met for the first time, especially in a setting like this, it is rude. Then, like, do you think I could just meet a man that I've never met on a platform and start swearing at him? I would know what that could lead to. But here's the thing, no, you don't. You feel safe enough to go and just come to a man you've never met. You don't know how I was raised. You don't know how I can react, and you're just swearing at me. The difference is, I would know I can't do that to a man I've just met because I don't know how he might react. Yeah,
it's
see,
true.
And that shows you the safety that they have.
But men have that understanding, like, as well. You're right. Men have that understanding. Like for me, is especially, I agree with what you're saying, because it's probably the same as you. If you go onto any platforms with men, we would probably never sit here and think, we're going to start this conversation off by swearing at a man, because again, I don't know how he's going to react on the sofa. But you're right, and there's a sense of security.
So let me tell you, what do you do with a woman that won't fall in her femininity and just keep shouting and arguing? What'd you do?
What, in this situation now, or
any situation? Home situation.
Do you know what, I ain't gonna lie to you, I walk away, bro. I ain't got time for that, bro. Yeah. There's no point arguing back.
Do you know why you walk away?
Switch off. You can't win.
Can't win. But you won't win.
Thank you. And that's what I wanted to get. You can't win. Guys, do not argue with a woman. Like, you can't win. You have to walk away. The only power you have is walking away. And I'll tell you why, right? It's because if me and you start arguing, we have about 60 seconds before one of us says, so what you telling me? That's rude. And I'm telling you, 60 seconds. I don't even think it was going to get to 60 seconds. Yeah. Like, it's not going to be like,
And everything you say is like, it's basically, Do you know, bruv, you ever play them games, yeah, where
it's triggered now.
the timer goes down with the more damage you take?
Yeah, bro, I'm telling you.
No. So like everything you say, your facial expressions are changing, mine are changing. That 60 seconds might turn into 10.
10, bro. So what
I hear what you're saying.
So essentially, we are regulated by that respect and that thing between men, and we know that, you know, if I start arguing with this guy, where it can escalate to. Women ultimately know that you can't do a damn thing, yeah, because you can't do anything. You cannot put your hands on women, right? So if you can't put your hands on a woman, what do you do when she will not respect or the levels won't come down? What do? You have to walk away. You have to, but a lot of men don't. They start arguing. That's feminine, yeah. The most masculine and the most strong thing you can do is remove the power that she has, and the power that she has is access to you. By you walking away, you essentially take that power. So that's what I was trying to say. Like, you know, when it comes down to these platforms, they can argue all they want because I can't do a damn thing. Really? Like, what can I do? Nothing. Like, all I can do is speak assertive in a direct way. Sometimes they'll keep interrupting you, so you might see I might get a little bit agitated, a little bit irritated. I am not mad. I'm not angry. I'm speaking in a direct way. You're being aggressive. No, I'm not.
Yeah. You're talking your mind. It's like,
this is how a masculine man talks direct. I'm not being any danger to you. I haven't sworn at you. But yet in actual fact, you're being aggressive.
No, I'm not. How am I being aggressive? That's what they'll say.
Yeah. But I'm saying in your way you approach me, right? And it's mad because they'll say things live. There was a lesson in gaslighting. I'll be like, guys, watch, this is gaslighting. And this is on air. Imagine this wasn't on air. They could say whatever they wanted to say and you would believe it. They telling me that I'm being aggressive when all I'm doing is talking. And then even when I drop my tone, and they'll be like, oh no, it's not your tone, it's what you said. So it's not my tone. If you don't like what I'm saying. See, that's the difference. So if I say to you, this is what I believe. I believe like a woman has the right to do what she wants. Yeah, a woman has the right to go where she wants. A woman has the right to wear what she wants. A woman can sleep with who she wants consensually. Yeah, that's fine. That's there, right?
Cool. Yeah. Go on.
But along with those rights, I believe I have rights and you have rights too.
Yeah.
So those rights might mean that I don't want to accept a woman that's gone and done that, right? So this is where the problem arises. So you can sleep with 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 1,000 people if you want. That's fine.
Yeah.
But equality states that I don't have to take you on that. That's not judging you. That's just a preference and standard that I have for myself. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Part of equality means you can do whatever you want, but that also means I don't have to accept what you do. And this is when they get mad. Oh, but why? No, and this is not shaming. This is not judging.
You're not shaming. You just stating the obvious. Not saying the obvious, but you just speak in your mind of the situation. Like, I don't have to take you sleeping with 1,000 guys, whatever. I don't. That's not me. Yeah. I don't want that. If your body count is that, then that I'm not judging you. You're a lovely woman, but that's not for me. But then now, if I did that now, if I told a woman, I slept with 1,000 girls, will she take me?
If she does, it's up to her. If she doesn't, it's up to her.
There you go. Yeah.
But you have to be ready to know that 1,000 girls might stop you having access to this woman.
Yes.
And you
100%.
Can't get mad when you
can't.
If
you
don't.
can't because you slept with 1,000 girls. So it's like, okay, cool. All right, cool. It's that one of them girls will DM her and say, oh, I slept with he did and it's like, he's very, I don't know, aggressive and it's like, cool. What can I do?
You could lie.
I could.
You could.
I could lie and say, oh, she's lying, she's chatting shit, like, that's not the truth, she's trying to get in a relationship.
Yeah.
But why would she say it for? I don't know.
But this is where many people find themselves. So they start to lie about body count. But if body count doesn't matter, why do they lie?
Women, I think women lie because of the opinion it has. And I say this, I've asked men this, and I've asked men that. So I've asked guys that I've worked with. I've asked people that are older than me, and the thing is, they will not get with someone who's got a high body count, purely because.
Why? What they say?
Huh?
What they say?
Because, to be honest with you, they say they can't be with somebody. And I said, okay, so what if they're 37 years old? Yeah, just as an example, and they've slept with. So since they were 18, they would have lost their virginity. And they slept with like 14 people 14. 13 or 14 people, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just throwing a number out there. I even said 10 to narrow it because he was like 14 sounds mad.
40 sounds mad
Yeah,
still.
but 10,
Yeah.
since they're 18 to 37 years old, he goes, that's even mad. And I was
mad.
like, I think girls may lie about their body count because they will feel dependent on the reaction of the man in front of them. Some won't care and some do care. And I think the ones probably that do care, sounds like they've heard more opinions from them than somebody who's willing to let it go.
But if you lie about your body count to manipulate a situation to get what you want, that's manipulation. And your relationship is based upon a lie. So, for example, I know someone that this is true stories that happened. Like, his missus lied about her past. He came back after they had kids and married. He discovered it. He got rid of her, and he should. Do you know why? Because you need to give a man that choice.
Was the past unforgivable?
Huh? Lying is unforgivable.
No, 100%. I agree with you. But what I'm saying is nowadays, certain times people would try and talk. I'm just giving you like a certain times people would try and talk to see through a few things. So for me, obviously, I'm not going to ask you to give me bare details because it's not probably something that your friend or whatever wants. But from me, that sounds as if it was something that he couldn't.
Yeah, like look, it's enough to be like, and it's also who it is as well. So it's who, and it's the fact that, look, I've said this before. You need to make me feel like Kanye, and I like to use Kanye as a good example because when Kanye married Kim, he knew exactly who he was married. He knew exactly what he was getting. Yeah. In actual fact, he married Kim at the height of all the sex tape, all the controversy. She'd already been married before. You know, like everything that came with Kim, right? Kim Kardashian. So he did that, and he had multiple kids with her, and did it, and was happy for it. No one could come up to Kanye and say, "Oh, look at your missus here." You know, like no one could embarrass him because he knew everything about that. So he entered that union, and they entered it. They entered it knowingly, full-heartedly, right? Nothing like a man loving you for who you truly are. Yeah. Nothing worse than this. Okay, for example, you're at the family barbecue, and then you're there with your missus. You get this, your wife, everything feels cool, and then someone just taps you on the shoulder, say, "Yo, bro, I need to pull you to the side." I say, "Hey, listen, you see what? Yeah, I just so you know, see that girl? Yeah, this video, this, or this, whatever from the past, right? Or like at that moment, your whole world is destroyed. Yeah, she could have easily told you and given you the choice. See, you're robbing me the choice. Yeah, because no man or woman should know something about my woman after I marry or I'm with you that I don't know. This is this moment where we let everything go from the past, right? Yeah. And this is the thing. If it didn't matter, you wouldn't lie about it. Yeah, and by lying about it's manipulation. Yeah. Just be honest, because guess what? You know, porn stars get married too. OnlyFans get married too. Strippers have husbands too. There's men that will make a decision to marry you based upon this, right? But what you're trying to do is turn someone that wouldn't normally do that into the type of man that you want. So you're lying. And this is manipulation. So by all means, do whatever you want. Just be honest, because there is a guy for every woman. Just like there's a guy for every, you know what I mean? So there's a woman for every guy, just like a guy for every woman.
Yeah, I hear that.
No,
you're not wrong.
That's mad still.
Just be honest. Because if it didn't matter, if body count did not matter, why do women lie?
What about lie in body count or just lie in general?
No, sorry. Lie about the body
count.
So it's not like so. And look,
why do men lie about body count? Just out of curiosity.
Because they want to. Men want to be seen in like what? But it being up.
No. People. Yeah. That's the mad thing. Men will lie about it up. Yeah. And then you get some women that may lie about it down. But I don't think you'd ever see a comparison where. I don't think, and I could be wrong, and there probably is. Where comparison where women lie about it being up instead of down to do you get what I'm trying to say?
No, I'll be honest, like I was on the live the other day, I was talking to someone and she was like, basically she was in a situationship, and after the live that we did, she was like, you know what, yeah, I'm gonna like basically get rid of this guy. And I was like, so what happened to this body then? What is this? She's like, yeah, is this one of the ones you forget about? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, and that's what they do.
Fucking hell.
It's just it's gonna be a situationship. It's gonna be one of these bodies which just disappears because it was a 3-month thing.
Jesus Christ!
It just disappeared.
That's just crazy. Oh man.
Vamos.
Damn.
But then you'll be out one day and some guy will be looking at your girl weird, and you won't know why, but you'll know why.
Yeah.
Like It's mad, and that's what I'm trying to say. You should never be in a place where another man knows something about your woman that you don't know. That makes you the fool.
Yeah.
Automatically, that makes you the fool. And if what I'm trying to say is if it doesn't matter, then be honest about it. Yeah, because you'll still get the results.
Do shout your socials up for me as well, please.
Yeah, guys, make sure you follow me on Instagram. My name is Chyna, and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. My name is Chyna as well. Oh yeah, TheMandemsVoice. We got an Instagram page and TikTok as well. My name is Chyna.
Run it up.
Run up the views.
Follow our socials,
Like,
Waffletop Podcast, for YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, and Apple Podcast. And then for Instagram, Waffletop PC, and also TikTok as well, Waffletop Podcast. We're on there posting reels up as well. So, follow us on all those socials. Don't forget to subscribe to this video, like it, share it, and please make sure you follow, obviously, our guest Chyna's socials over here. We will get him back on soon.
Follow that.
Because, we're not done.
No, bro, I need to come back.
No, we will.
This is the shortest podcast I've ever been on. I'm like, what's going on?
I know. We got to get it longer. Yeah, we run it up.
Generally, I want to sit down and do a longer one with you guys. Because I think we're going to unpack some stuff.
Trust me. Cool.
We're gonna
all right, peace.
Peace.
Bless,
bro.